Hello and welcome to episode 593 of Fergo and the Freak. I'm that bloke from Rugby League Project, Andrew Ferguson. You can find me on Twitter at AndrewRLP. And join me as always is the glorious LeagueFreak. You can also find on Twitter at LeagueFreak. How you going there, mate?
I'm going all right, Andrew. How are you?
Spiffing.
Excellent spiffing. Jesus. What the hell, man? Hope all of our listeners are good too. It's always good when our listeners are good.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. I like knowing that they're doing well. And if they're not, it's okay because things will turn around.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I'm full of great additions so far today.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. It's been spiffing.
Yeah, well, that's true. Look, I've done the intro. I've done the lifting. It's over to you, fella.
Well, let's start off with what has come out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a few hours ago. There was a report put out. I think the Moley put it out, and I think it was Paul Kent on whatever he's on these days. I've got no idea what he's on. But I started seeing
usually either a footpath or a tree.
Come on now, Andrew. That was a long time ago.
Too soon?
That was a long time ago.
Booze?
Yeah, there's reports anyway, there's some reports out there that the Cronulla Sharks are possibly looking at playing their games at either Cogra Oval next year or the Sydney Football Stadium. And it comes because their stadium is obviously so small. Like what are they able to get? 11,000 in there, 12,000, something like that.
Yeah, I think once everything is completed and finalised, the capacity is set to be around 15.
Yeah, and that's
still too small.
Yeah, it's just not big enough. If it was, it'd be great. But like when that's the goal, it's not good enough. I think that it won't be too long before 25,000 isn't really great for some teams. But anyway, the Sharks are apparently looking at the feasibility of moving their home games for next season. And you and me have talked a little bit about this over the last few years on the podcast. And, it's not ideal. And I understand that Sharks fans would be upset about it. And, if you could wave a magic wand and give them a 25,000 seat stadium, you would. But it's a privately owned stadium, Shark Park, so the government will not put 1 cent into it. And it's just they're in a rough situation and they're looking to their future. So I think that nothing official has come out from the club, but I'm hoping that by the time people listen to this podcast, that the club has at least addressed what everyone's talking about on Twitter tonight.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm surprised that Cogra was put forward.
Mm-hmm.
As the venue that they would move to.
Well, I mean, it's so close.
Geographically, yeah, it makes sense. But given the animosity between them and the Dragons, I wouldn't have thought that they'd have entertained that idea.
Yeah, look, I guess beggars can't be choosers, hey?
I got an idea.
Okay.
Right. Why don't they just move like a few hundred meters down the road to, I think it's called Solander Field, something like that. It's literally on the other side of the big development they've got there.
Mm-hmm.
Big empty field. It's bigger than what Shark Park currently sits on.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just put it in there? Build a big stadium there. Put a proper one in.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it there. They can sell the current stadium to some foreign developer who doesn't know shit from clay, right? And just say, right, this land here is worth about $3 or $4 billion, and then just build a stadium over there, just a few feet down the road, and that way they still stay where they want to be.
I guess that would work out if they got that land cheap, and I'm guessing they couldn't get it cheap.
It's NRL. Just tell them, it's going to be an NRL ground now. Stiff shit, whatever you want to do with it. The NRL is more important than whatever the fucking king wants to do with his dirt. And
that's a good point.
Who else is here?
What if you just if you squatted a whole stadium?
See, I reckon that's a great idea. I don't know why no one's thought of that before.
Yeah, just squat you just build a stadium and then you go like, oh, wait a minute.
Hang on. Shit, did we get the wrong address? No.
You start saying stuff like possession is 9/10 of the law. Stuff like that.
That's right.
Or you just, it's all right. I'm a sovereign citizen.
We are the 99%.
Yeah. Just start saying stuff like that. Just confuse people. Just be like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah. Call it the People's Stadium.
Yeah. So it's not a stadium. It's a gathering place.
Ooh.
There we go. I just worked it out, eh?
You did indeed. You did indeed. That'll work. Oh, there you go, Sharks. We'll fix that for you.
Yeah, that was easy.
Are we good at this solving problems thing or what? Like, how fucking good are we?
So good.
How many times have we fixed English Rugby League? They just don't listen to us.
No, not even slightly. Oh man, I got into it with English fans too. My God. I watched the Challenge Cup.
I was going to say, do you ever get to a point where you think, maybe they're trolling me?
Yes. I watched the Challenge Cup final, right? I turned it on 1 minute in.
And I was going to say, well done.
Yeah. I turned it on 1 minute in.
Uh-huh.
And I just turned it off at halftime because I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just not enjoying this game. It's just a bit of a boring game and stuff. And the crowd, keep in mind, Wembley Stadium, I think, holds about 90,000 people. Yeah. And the crowd was very, very scattered in the lower bowl, mid-bowl section, right? Mm. So I look at the crowd and I'm like, man, it's got to be like half capacity. If they're not filling up the top bowl of the stadium, and the rest of it is scattered seating, and it really did look like about 50% from what I was seeing on TV. And I was like, man, that's got to be, 40,000 people there, something like that. And the crowd that come out was 56,000 people. And I'm like, that doesn't seem right to me, but, So I tweeted about it and just got hammered by people. And I think they missed the whole point of like, listen, there's not a huge crowd there at Wembley either way. And but it's just what are you going to do? So they don't care. They don't care.
This is the problem they've got over there, okay, is the Challenge Cup final no longer feels special because there's so many games of footy being played. It's just another game of footy.
Yeah.
And that's the problem they've got, is they've overexposed the game for so long that now none of the games feel special. And so when you actually get a big, important game with a ton of history, which is phenomenal history, people just go, yeah. And they really do need to start thinking about, you can leave the Challenge Cup as it is, but you've got to shorten the premiership season and make the games more special. And that's how you get the crowds to come back again. If it feels like, missing a game could be the game that determines whether you go on a run to the finals or it's a game that makes you miss the finals, whatever it is. And so, being there feels like it's a bit more important, then you'll go. But if it feels like, it's okay. There's another 17 of these home games left to go. Don't worry about it. We'll just go to the one next week. I just put it off. And then next thing people go to 1 or 2 games a year and that's it. And you get tiny crowds all the time.
Well, look, I think that the fact that Super League has had a grand final for so long now, and so it's been so long since it was first past the post for the English premiers to be first past the post. That's how you won the title.
Mm.
And the Challenge Cup was a final, and so it had that's what differentiated it from the premiership season. And now, if you had a choice, if you're a Super League fan, between a Challenge Cup final and the Super League grand final, I don't think that there'd even be a second to think about. You'd rather win the Super League grand final. So straight away, the Challenge Cup final is a second-rate competition. And the fact that it is just kind of no one cares about it right up until the final. Like, no one cares about the semi-finals. You just got to look at the crowds for the semi-finals for it. I think that it's just been a slow degradation of the competition's importance over a long period of time. And, the crowds, I would love it more than anyone if Wembley was full every year for the Challenge Cup final, but it wasn't anywhere near full, and I pointed that out. And, I had people saying, oh, maybe we should move it to Manchester. And I was like, man, how much more does English Rugby League just want to disappear into the north of England and then wonder why the rest of the country doesn't give a shit? It's just, there's so many issues over there. We could do 1,000, and we're trying to 1,000 podcasts about it, and it doesn't matter because no one over there wants to change anything. So, and that's fine. If they want that, that's cool.
See, maybe they just need to build, and hear me out on this.
Yeah.
A Wembley in the north.
What about a Wembley at fucking Shark Park?
And played the Challenge Cup final there.
We could kill two birds with one stone.
Fucking solved.
Do you know how long ago I first heard we should build Wembley of the North at fucking Odsal Stadium? Like, they've been talking about that for a long time too. But nothing changes, and that's fine. I'm not going to push changes I want onto the English. They can stick with what they're doing. That's cool.
They've talked about having a Wembley in the North for a long time.
Yeah.
It was around Odsal for most of the time. Did they not? I can't remember now. Did they not try and think about doing that sort of thing when they were initially put forward the plan for that Salford Stadium? Remember, it was going to be this gigantic thing with a casino near it.
I don't remember that personally. There's another stadium in Bradford called is it Valley Parade?
Yeah.
That the Bulls did play at, and it's weird because you can see where the soccer team started building a really big stadium there and only built like a quarter of it, and that could be built into something massive. But then you get into all sorts of other things, and look, at the problem in England is not finding stadiums. That's for certain. It's filling them. Yeah,
that's basically it.
Yeah.
So I was surprised you didn't get people complaining about how much it was going to cost to travel all the way for about, what was it, 40 Ks, 50 Ks?
To London?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got that. I got the travel costs.
Oh, right.
There was a soccer game on at the same time.
That'd be difficult to navigate.
There was.
Apparently, there was a school phaeton. Somewhere near, I don't know, somewhere in Western London, somewhere probably. I don't know. Who cares?
It's like at some point you just got to say, like, listen, you just go and do your own thing, and that's cool.
Yeah. If you're just going to keep making excuses, then you'll just keep getting what you got. Yeah. All right. Well, now we've got that cheery news out of the way. What else has been going on? Can we briefly talk about the Origin? Because I didn't get a chance to talk about Origin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
I think it is absolutely insane that there is still a debate about whether Mitch Moses should be playing in Game 2.
Okay, I've given my thoughts on this. Can you tell me your thoughts on this?
Yeah. As far as Mitch Moses is concerned, no.
Why?
Ethan Strange, his style of football complements Cleary so much better than Moses. And what I've seen from Moses so far this year is running sideways and putting up uncontested bombs to the corners. Don't really need that anymore. I kind of want a 5'8" who's going to run and have a bit of gumption about the way he plays the game. Because, that's what makes him an Origin player, quotation marks. I just do not see... I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Luke Brooks is in better form right now than Mitch Moses, and Brooks should not be anywhere near a conversation about playing Origin. So why is Moses in the conversation? I don't get it. I've never been a huge fan of Moses, but he has not been doing anything to impress me at all this year.
Okay, now you and me have not talked about State of Origin until right now. We didn't talk much before the podcast. We didn't talk after Origin, right? So these are all your thoughts. I haven't been like, hey, what do you reckon about this? All right. So I'm going to ask you questions that have been put to me and things that have been put to me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that New South Wales loses out in their kicking game when you haven't got Cleary and Moses as your halves?
No.
Why not?
The Moses kicks, they're not effective. Watch the kicks he's been doing for Parramatta. There's these uncontested bombs that go to the corners, and they don't put any pressure on the bloke, fielding the kick. And the Queensland back three are not people you want to give a free run to off a kick.
Okay, now another question, and this is one that was put to me. these aren't my thoughts. I'm playing a hard devil's advocate here, people. These are things that were put to me on Twitter. But Moses has a better long kicking game than Nathan Cleary.
Whoop-de fucking do. Has he got bigger nuts as well? I don't care. Look, it's not relevant.
But he's won.
Has Cleary shown any issues whatsoever in game one that he was under pressure with his kicking game? And I think the answer is no.
No, like, look, okay, now I'm going to fuck what everyone said to me. Not everyone. There was only a few people that said it. I thought in that game, considering the New South Wales forwards, like the props were terrible in the opening stanza.
In that first half, they were dog shit.
Yeah, and like New South Wales literally got better once we brought on Murray and what's his name?
Radley's for some reason. Man, I was so pissed off that Radley had a great game.
Played great. It fucking sucked.
I thought he was going to come on and just go, right, we're down already. He's going to do some loose unit shit and get fucking sin binned and we're just going to get pounded. And he played amazing.
But the fact that we got so much better when they come on was shocking. But while we were under pressure, Cleary just kept on having to kick us out of trouble and try and turn it around. And it wasn't easy because sometimes we didn't get to the last tackle. A lot of times we didn't get to the last tackle. We were dropping the ball too much. But I thought that his kicking game was exactly what you needed from your halves. I don't care who the half is or your 5'8", but for our halves, we needed to be getting the ball out of there whenever we could, and he was doing that. Then in the second half, he started playing quite a bit differently. So he went from his side of the field, he started roaming, and he was really linking up really, really well with Strange. And
yes, he was.
The send-off was correct, even though I blew up about it during the game. I saw footage afterwards, and it was the correct call. And our two best players were Cleary and Strange. And if it had gone to Strange, the man of the match, I would have been like, that's fair enough. I went to Cleary. And the idea that you would break up our two best players from that first game, to me, is madness.
It is. That, and on the Ponga hit, I'm sending him off, not because of the connection with the head, but for the sheer stupidity and laziness of the tackle attempt. Because it was so fucking blatant that he just ran in and just ran at him with his shoulder. And that's it. Like, it didn't matter if the shot hits his head or not. I'm sending him off just for being a fucking idiot.
Yeah, it was.
You're playing Origin, man. Like, I know you think that you can sail a bit closer to the wind and get away with it, but when it comes to the blows to the head, they don't hurt less because it's Origin.
Yeah.
The risk of concussion isn't lessened because it's Origin. And so it was just so utterly fucking stupid. When I watched it, I went, just send him off for being dumb. Like, it was clearly going to have to be at least 10 minutes, but I had zero issue with it being a send-off.
I thought it was a head clash when I first saw it, but then I saw the replays. There was a video that...
you look at it from behind the play.
Yeah.
And you can see that his head makes his shoulder makes the connection with his head first. And that's only because Kula was falling forward as it happened. But
and look, he blasted him.
But if he had come across and chest first tried to wrap his arms around, he wouldn't have hit him in the head with his shoulder or his arm. It would have been with his chest, and it would have been a more effective tackle because it would have pushed him straight into touch.
Yeah.
And he went for a straight-on collision leading with his shoulder, and he didn't try anything about... Both his arms were by his side when he did it. I was like...
Yeah.
So, you idiot. How stupid can you be?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I had no issue with being sent off.
Yeah, it was pretty clear-cut, especially when you saw rolling angles and, And look, I had a lot of people saying to me, Cleary and Strange only played well when they were against 12 players. And it's like, well, what do you want? What do you want from me? What answer do you want from me, people? Like, our two best players were our two halves. And I can't change that. I can't change who they were playing against. All I can tell you is what happened. And I just watched that game and I'm like, the last two players I'd replace for game two is our two best players from game one.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, the other thing that made a big difference to New South Wales was 10 minutes into the second half, they brought Brayley on at hooker.
Yep.
And he just straightened up the attack in the middle, and that's what helped drag the props into the middle and running forward and straight again.
Yeah.
I think Robson was trying to get the ball out to his halves too often, too early, and that's why the props were not making those meters, and they were starting on the back foot the whole time.
Yeah.
Brayley seemed to straighten them up and get them running forward. The other thing I noticed that he did is it looks like, this is a hunch, is that Daly likes the New South Wales side to play a little bit flat. And that's not the way Brayley likes to play. And I think Brayley also recognised that it's also not a way that Cleary likes to play. And you saw a few passes where Brayley has thrown it just a little bit high to make Cleary take a step or two back and go a little bit deeper. And it actually gave Cleary just a little bit more space to work with. And you see it happened once or twice, and then Cleary started standing a little bit deeper and started having more room to work with. I don't know if that was intentional or accidental, but it was just something that I noticed. And it was always when New South Wales were in the Queensland half. And I just started to see, like, that try that Cleary scored. You saw how far back Cleary was standing. And Brayley just looked across and saw him just in the corner of his eye. And I dare say, like, Cleary was screaming for it and just passed it out. Just everything about that play was perfect. And that's not on Brayley. Like, that is 10% Brayley and 90% Cleary. He spotted that gap. He ran for it and he called for it. And he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, look, I think that they changed how much they were playing mid-game so much. And I can't imagine that was a plan, because that, as I said during the week, like, Strange and Cleary were playing opposite sides of the field. And then it was about 50 or 60 minutes in, Cleary just sort of threw that out the window, and started moving across field, moving to the midfield, having Strange run off his hip and stuff like that. And once we started doing that, it was like the game just changed. Our attack looked so much better. And as you say, we started setting ourselves deeper as well, which was good because, instead of jamming yourself into a very fast defensive line that's coming up very quickly, as all Origin defences are, you give your attacking players a chance to actually make something happen, use their footwork, throw some ball runners in there, try and confuse the defence before they get to you, rather than just be up on you already. And I can't imagine that was a coached idea that we're going to play completely two different ways for one half and the other. I think it was more maybe the players just were like, we've got to do something different.
Yeah, and look, the thing you've got with Cleary and Strange is, with their own unique skills, they are both very, very capable of beating their first defender. Cleary with his footwork, Strange with his power.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous thing, though, especially when you're close to the line.
Yeah.
And Strange is a phenomenal support player.
Yeah.
Has been for years. And he's just, I don't know, man. He had an unbelievable game. And
it was amazing.
I would be having him as the starting six. It's not even a question.
Yeah, it's a non-event for me. And I said my backup halfback would be Katoa. I'd bring him into the New South Wales squad. It would be unlucky for the Dolphins if they had to lose him while he was being a backup halfback. But he's a young bloke. He's got all the skills. He's been leading that Dolphins team around for a few years now, and he's done it very well. And he would be my next in line for the halfback role or a backup to Cleary anyway. But people see it a different way. And even Laurie Daly, I think it was yesterday or a couple of days ago now when you're listening to this, he was saying that he's going to bring Mitch Moses back into the squad at the very least, because he felt like it was a little bit unlucky for him to be dropped because of an injury. Yeah, it's like, what are we doing here? Are we running a fucking charity, or do we want to win these things?
Seriously, stiff shit. Like,
keep in mind
Moses has a remarkable record of getting injured on the eve of Origin games. So, stiff. Just bad luck, man.
Look, Moses didn't play in that game. hasn't played in any games since. He won't have played a game, I don't think, until Origin 2. So he won't have played in like a month and a half or something crazy.
Yeah. I would not be putting him in the side at all unless Strange or Cleary gets injured, and then I'll be start looking at it then. But until then, bad luck, buddy.
Yeah.
Just bad luck.
Yeah.
So yeah, the other thing that got me to about this game is I thought for the most part Tedesco and Teo were fucking garbage.
Yeah. Tedesco was terrible, especially defensively.
His positionally in defence, it was just like everything just looked like he was out by a step and a half everywhere. He was just a little bit behind the play the whole time in defence. But you know, when it's time to put the nuts on the line, no one else was catching that fucking bomb with seconds left to go in the match to score the match-winning try than him.
Yeah,
and he this is what the great players do. They deliver when you need them to, and that was a phenomenal take, and it wasn't easy. And you can't drop him because he had a rough game. He made up for it when it mattered.
You can't drop him now. And look, before that moment, I would drop him definitely. He kept on getting into first receiver and just getting in the way a lot as well. He was doing that Paul Gallen thing, and it was like, can this fucking guy get out the way and let our halves play halves football? But you can't drop him now after that, so...
No, and I mean Teo had just a dreadful first half. He redeemed himself somewhat in the second half, but man, I have never seen him play such poor football before.
Yeah, it was his worst game of his career. Worst game easy of his career.
Yeah, I think the very New South Wales thing to do is to go through with a ton of changes. I think they should probably not.
Well, look, I'd leave Strange in there. I would change our front row. If Haas is healthy, I'd put him in. I've said I would put Lindsay Smith alongside Haas because he's a big mobile dude. You know, he's a very good defender. People didn't like it when I said that, but, fuck. But yeah, I think our front rows definitely need changed. Definitely. Because Adam Fanor-Blake was just... it was just above him, that level. You need to have good leg speed, and he's just not that type of player. He's a very different sort of player, And Barnett, I'm not going to bag him out because he is only just coming back from ACL injury. I'd probably have Haas and Ford from the Warriors and then have Smith on the bench if you want to use him too. So that's what I would do. They're the changes I'd make. And Smith had come in for Saifidi, who didn't get used anyway. So they're the only changes I'd really make. I could see where, you might tinker around the edges if you wanted to, but at the same time, if you win a game, you don't change things unless there's a really big problem there. And I think our front row was a really big problem.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, that I think the 4 players who came off the bench were just absolutely fucking outstanding every minute they were on the field. I've never seen 4 players come onto the field from the bench in one game for the one team and have such a massive impact. Yeah. Murray was great in defence. Radley was just energetic in everywhere. McLean was fucking amazing when he came on the field. The amount of energy he brought in. Mm-hmm. And Bradley just straightened everything up and was just absolutely superb, composed the whole way through. He didn't look like he had any nerves at all. I just went, man, that bench came on and they made the guys who started the game look like shit.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, McLean's probably the only one that I would think about putting in if you put him in for Crichton. But, at the same time, I would be happy to just have McLean on the bench.
I think he's great off the bench as he is.
Yeah. But he's got to be there somewhere. It's crazy to see a dude that's like, he's only just turned 20. I think it was last month he turned 20. And he's already got these huge games, and they're not like, I played well against South in round 6 or something like that. It's like, well, in the test matches, he scored 4 tries, and he come on to Origin. He didn't play that many minutes, but he stood out with what he was doing. It's really crazy the big moments he has, and every so often, especially for the Panthers, like he'll get the ball and he'll do things that are like, oh shit! Like he's when he feels out and he gets really strong, he is gonna be unbelievable.
Yeah, this kid is just nuts.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. I could go through the Queensland, so I can't be bothered. So, anything else?
No, look, I thought Queensland played really well. I thought
they did. And look, I'd say too, Sam Walker was pretty solid.
Yeah, he was a lot better than I expected.
Yep. Munster still, I don't know what to think of him anymore.
I think that if Strange and Cleary play really well in 3 games in this series, Strange might get that World Cup spot from Munster just because he works so well with Cleary, and Cleary's going to be there. Munster's not having a good year. He had a bit of a not great year last year. Well, and we're going by his normal standard, right? His normal standard is like one of the best 5 players in the world. But this year he's been very quiet for the Storm, and he didn't have a good game in this first Origin game, even before the send-off. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot to play for. World Cup at the end of the year.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see how it all goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to the next game. It'll be interesting to see what who they pick for the next one on both sides.
Yeah. Hopefully New South Wales doesn't fuck it up, but I would put my money on them fucking it up.
Likewise. All right, what should we go to next, sir?
Let's do some emails, because we've got a bunch of emails and a message from Instagram as well, from an English follower on Instagram.
We have an English follower?
Yeah, it's Pero. So Nadine sent us this from the Instagram account, and we got this in a direct message on Instagram, and it's from Pero. So here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
G'day, guys. Sorry not on X, but been a fan of the show for years, and hope this message reaches you. I'm a diehard Tigers fan, not Castleford, obviously, but lived in the UK for 10 years and watched enough Super League over there to understand the challenges and lack of eyeballs on the game anywhere in the country. Brian McDermott appears on James Graham's The Buy Round this week, and they discuss the Super League's current situation. Would really love to hear your take on their discussion. Personally, I found McDermott's take quite infuriating and believe it explains how badly their game has been promoted in the last 30 years. Always love your work and look forward to hearing your responses. Cheers, Pero. So we obviously, I don't read emails before we read them so that we get surprised by them.
Yeah.
I don't know what he said on the Buy Round with James Graham.
Yeah, I've never listened to that. So, okay, it sounds like we've got some homework to do.
Yeah, we've got homework.
Fuck.
I always worry about anything that Brian McDermott says because...
he's a genius. Triple genius.
Yeah, it's above me. That's what it is, Andrew. It's above me.
Are you saying he's working on that... on that level that a former Penrith coach used to be on who you really liked?
Oh, Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, is he on that sort of plane, you reckon?
Where I'm like, I used to listen to Matthew Elliott and think like, do I need to be on acid for this to make sense?
Is this guy high?
Yeah.
Do I need to be high?
So we'll look into that.
Okay, so we'll report back on the next episode.
Yeah. So this next one is from James, and the subject is bad goal kicking and the 92 challenge. So it says, "G'day, boys. James is back again."
How you doing, Jim?
Yeah, Jimmy. Really shocking goal kicking by Canberra against the Cowboys, only landing 1 from 6. I can't recall a worse performance for some time. Maybe Fergo can find one from the archives. Can you do that quickly?
God, no.
I'm trying to think if there's a game that really stands out for like terrible goal kicking. Nothing jumps out at me.
anything during the Topo era, which is the pre-90s, there'll be plenty.
Yeah, it was just completely different. Huh?
Yeah, every time you go for the Topo, it's like you're throwing up a 50-50 chance of converting at that rate.
Yeah. Anyway, the email says, and this is weird because I just said this phrase, now for something completely different. Have you heard of the English Soccer 92 Cup, or phrase to do the 92? This is the challenge to visit all 92 stadia / grounds in association football. From Wikipedia, a person must attend an association football game at the stadium of every current Premier League and EFL Championship, EFL League One and EFL League Two club in England and Wales. And then he's got a ground map, a link to the 92 club, and it's got all of the grounds mapped out. He says, now it does help to complete this if you have a country the size of a postage stamp. That is pretty good. But do you think there could be or should be an equivalent challenge for the NRL or New South Wales and Queensland Cups? Perhaps for Sydney siders, the equivalent challenge could be all NRL grounds plus New South Wales and Ron Massey home grounds. That's quite hardcore. I think I'd settle for all NRL grounds. If we include all current and former New South Wales / ARL / NRL grounds.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Has Fergo been to more grounds than Freaky? We'll talk about that when I finish this, right? Because
I would doubt it because, I mean, I lived in rural New South Wales until I was in my early 20s. So I didn't get to go to too many games. So I haven't been.
What Andrew is saying is I lived in civilization where we have wonderful things like running water and flushing toilets and daylight saving.
You don't know how right you are.
Oh, shit. He says, side note, I'll let you decide if the Oasis Project pile of rubble at Liverpool counts as the Bulldogs' home ground. That's great. Love your work, boys. James.
Oh.
So should we go through the grounds we've both been to? Because I've been to surprisingly few grounds, less grounds than most people would guess, but we'll go through them, right? So you've been to the SFS, the old one?
Yes. Not the new one.
Okay. You've been to Parramatta Stadium?
Yes.
Okay. Not the new one, though?
Not the new one.
But I still count that. You've been to Penrith Footy Stadium?
Yes.
Okay. You've been to Cogra Oval?
Yes.
You've been to Shark Park?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't been to Shark Park. You've been to the Sydney Cricket Ground?
Yes, but for cricket.
Okay. Yeah, I went for cricket too when I think about it. I don't think I've been for rugby league. You've been to Leichhardt?
Yes.
I haven't been to Leichhardt, so you're 2 up on me. Have you been to Wollongong?
No.
Okay, so I've got one back. I've been to Wollongong for a test match. You've been to Newcastle Stadium?
Yep. I
haven't been there. So you're back up two ahead of me. Have you been to Suncorp Stadium?
Yes.
Okay, I've been there. I'm trying to think. Okay, so is there anywhere else you've been? Have you been to Manly's Footy Stadium?
Yeah, I've been to Brookvale.
Okay, I've been there too.
I've been to Seabus Stadium, the Gold Coast Titans one.
I haven't been to that one.
I've been to Bruce Stadium in Canberra.
Ooh, have I been to Bruce Stadium? I don't think I've been to Bruce Stadium, no.
And Amy Park.
Yeah, I haven't been to Amy Park.
Olympic Park, the Storm Stadium before that.
Yeah, didn't go to Olympic Park.
Prince's Park, which is also in Melbourne.
Is that the little park that's in Albert Park?
No, it's a massive ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Melbourne Storm had a New South Wales Cup team in 2014, and they played 1 or 2 games there. But okay. I think the first New South Wales Rugby League Premiership game and one of the Origin games was played there.
Yeah, is it called Bob Janes Stadium?
Oh, I don't know what it's called now. I think is it Vizzy Stadium? I can't remember. It's an AFL ground, but it's got no.
Oh no, I'm talking about the little one that's in Albert Park.
Oh no, I don't mean that. I don't know what that one is.
I swear.
Now, Princess Park is out near, I think, out near Carlton somewhere.
Okay, I swear that there's been a game at that little stadium there in Albert Park.
May well have been. Also been to Dockland Stadium.
No, I haven't been there.
What else?
Haven't you been to like Birchgrove Oval?
Yeah, I mean there was no games being played there, but I visited the ground.
Yeah, see, I haven't been there.
I visited Sefford Oval, the Canberra original, the first ground that Canberra had.
I think I've driven past it.
Yeah, you would. It's a little thing.
Yeah,
I've driven past Wynn Stadium in Wollongong, but never actually been to it.
Yeah.
What else?
I've been to the stadium at Blacktown that the Manly Seagulls New South Wales Cup team.
I've been to that one. I went.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I went to that for a New South Wales Cup game.
It's a nice little place, eh?
It is. It's not bad.
It's weird when you're going up to it. It's like I remember when I was going up because I was calling game. That's the first place I called game. And I'm going up to it and I'm like, is this the right place? This feels a little bit, And then all of a sudden it's there and you're like, oh, here it is.
There you are. What else is there? I've been to the Central Coast Stadium.
Yeah. I haven't been there. Have you been to Campbelltown?
Yes.
Okay, I've been to Campbelltown too.
The other ones I've been to outside of that, ones in like regional New South Wales where they have played NRL games and stuff before, but just as one-off things like McDonald Park in Wagga and Eric Weisel Oval, which doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I haven't been there.
So been to those two. That's pretty much it.
Have you been to the one at Bathurst?
No, I haven't been to that one.
I'm trying to think of any other ones I've been to. Hey, I can't think of any others. Did Cogra? Where else did I call games? Oh, that was Parramatta. I can't think of any others that I've been to off the top of my head.
Oh, the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, yeah. The biggest stadium in Sydney. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there for a game. I went there for
one. Remember when they first opened it up? In those first 3 or 4 years, they had double headers there at the start of the year.
Yeah.
I went there for one of those in 2004.
I went there for a game, it's probably about 8 years ago now, between St. George and I can't remember who the other team was. Took someone there. Do you remember when, here's a bit of lost media. I wish someone could find this for us. Remember when they kicked off, I think it was the 2001 season, and they saved money by not doing the advert, and they had Trent Barrett read he did a speech, and they put dumb music behind him.
I vaguely recall that, yes.
I cannot find that anywhere.
Where would you find that? Was it before a game?
I think it was, yeah. I think it was before the doubleheader to kick off that season. And I'm almost certain it was 2001.
Man, I can't remember what it was.
And I haven't looked for a long while now, but I looked everywhere online when I did look for it and I could not find it because it's so goofy. And they did know, they were like, we're not doing a TV advert because there was this thing where the TV advert used to be the big thing. It's like, is the TV advert going to be all right? Is it going to have all the teams and stuff? And they said, we're not going to do the TV ad. We've got something special lined up. And it was Trent Barrett reading a speech.
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was so like cringy.
Yeah.
So anyway, you've been to way more grounds than I've. Oh, what about Belmore?
No, I haven't been there.
Okay, I've been to Belmore. Did I call a game at Belmore? I think I called a game at Belmore. I
also haven't been to Henson Park.
I haven't been to Henson Park.
That's what I do want to go to.
Yeah. I haven't been to Shark Park. I drove past. I haven't been to it. Yeah, I can't think of any other ones that I've been to. So
I've also been to What is that? The Huddersfield's home ground.
Oh, what's it called?
The Calpine Stadium.
That's it.
John Smith Stadium. Is that? I think is what it is.
Oh, in England, I've been to Wembley. Not Wembley. I've been to Old Trafford. I've been to the ground at the Hull FC ground. Trying to think of. No, I didn't go in there. I've driven past Drewsbury's ground, the Drewsbury Rams ground, which was actually a nice little place. And I drove past Wakefield's ground and couldn't believe it. Just all corrugated iron and shit. But I think that's it in England. I don't think I went anywhere else.
Actually, I do remember one other venue I've been to in Australia, and that's the MCG.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But again, not to watch rugby league.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Just cricket.
Yeah.
Lots of cricket.
Is there any? Yeah. Have you been to the Formula One?
No.
You haven't been to the Formula. I've been to the Melbourne one twice when I was a teenager.
Yeah, I've not been.
Trying to think of anything else. Eastern Creek. I used to go there a lot though because it's so close, you know.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, I mean, it's been a long time since anybody's really travelled probably interstate to go to Eastern Creek for any big event because there's no big events there really anymore.
So there you go. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm surprised that I've been to as many venues as I have been.
Yeah, it's weird when you start thinking about them, hey.
And most of them were in 2004 when I first moved to, moved to the city.
Yeah.
Spent first year, just went around and watched all the footy that I could possibly watch in 1 year.
Went to as many as possible.
And that was when I was living in Newcastle. When I moved to Sydney, I didn't watch anything.
That's hilarious. I used to go to a lot of footy when I was a teenager, but it was like Penrith, Parramatta, and the SFS. They were basically the only grounds I went to when I was a teenager. And it was mostly because, like, I was a Panthers fan. A lot of my friends were Parramatta fans. I had one friend that was a Souths fan. And, yeah, they were the grounds that I'd go to. And then, obviously, a bunch of Penrith games I've been to. But, yeah, I would guess that the most that I've been to is Penrith and Parramatta Stadium, for sure.
Nice.
So there we go. Okay, next one. Next, it's Glenn.
Uh-oh. Get the lawyer on the phone.
I know, right? So, subject is last couple of weeks. Jeez. Okay. G'day, Fergo and the Freak. Spent a few weeks in Bali. How about Glenn here going to fucking Bali? And got back the day before Origin, which gave me some time to digest some of the news that broke while I was away. Firstly, Jai Arrow. Wow, this news was such a downer. I liked watching Jai play. In some ways, his style reminded me of an 80s or early 90s player. I get that. Mm-hmm. It's kind of no-nonsense, like forward play. Yeah. I wish him all the best in his battle with this disgusting disease. I hope he gets to create lots of memories for his family and especially his little girl. Oh, that's very lovely.
Yeah.
Secondly, Ivan Cleary. At first, I was like, what the fuck? What's this going to do to my club? Then I started to think about, and I was positive about how Ivan and the club has handled it. Again, the club leads the way. With what I've heard, Peter Wallace is similar to Ivan. He's already a part of the club. So with so many players coming off contract, these experienced players can have a clearer decision on their future, and the same applies to the juniors. So I come to the conclusion that our future still looks bright. I actually read a thing this week that said some of the senior players that were off contract said they wanted to stay at the club because of Wallace was going to be the coach. So that is a good sign. Next thing he says is a couple of podcasts ago, you talked about how good it is to have PNG coming into the competition. I'm sorry, I don't agree. I've been against this from the very beginning. My preference was for a second New Zealand team. I get what it will do for PNG, and for that I'm glad. And once they start selecting players from the country, it is going to improve the lifestyle of so many people. My biggest problem with it is that it feels like they are getting everything handed to them, and yet us as supporters, we have listened for years, clubs wanting exemptions for players coming through their juniors to the NRL, cheaper days at the football, cheaper jersey prices, etc. and yet what we have got, and yet what we got was cheaper Australian jerseys. Have heard the rumor that players are looking away from the NRL due to the speed of the game. If some opinions, I don't know what that means, but good win by the Dragons. Great game between the Panthers and Warriors. Cheers, Glenn. P.S. Paul Gallen was given. Oh no, can't say that. Yeah, I understand that about PNG. I think that I don't think they should have got any exemptions tax wise. I think that was a government decision though. And the NRL kind of said, look, the NRL were told, like, if you're going to take this money, guess what? We're going to give them tax exemptions, and it's just going to be one thing you have to deal with.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of it was a government thing that had nothing to do with rugby league.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it. I think we always needed to have a team in PNG, and it's not that massive of a distance to travel compared to going to, say, Townsville or Auckland.
It's not
so
far. Yeah.
It's all within the range. It's fine. The exemptions thing, I'm fine with it to a point. I think some exemptions like discounts and stuff like that, I think would be fair.
Yeah.
Full exemptions seems a bit too much, a bit too unfair.
See, the way I look at exemptions is like you have to have been at your club for so long. Like I think it's weird that, say, Isaiah Yeo, like I think the Panthers should be able to pay him whatever he wants when his next contract is up. You know, I think it's good for players that have been at a club for that long to be with that club for the end of their career. And I know it sounds fucked up, but I would say the same thing about Nathan Cleary. I think it'd be fucked up if you left the Panthers, and that if the Panthers, want to pay him whatever the fuck they want to, we'll go ahead and go and do it. But only because he's been there for so long.
I mean, they currently, I assume they still have the 10-year loyalty thing, and it's not 10 years in first grade. It's 10 years since you became, graded at some like SG ball or something like that with the club.
It's not much though compared to what the salary cap is now.
No, it's not much, but it is there. And it's when the salary cap was lower when they first brought it in, it was enough to make it competitive and to keep those players in house.
Yeah.
I think though it does need to be greater.
Yeah.
The only issue you get with that is, when you get teams, and the teams that's going to help the most are going to be Brisbane and at the moment Penrith.
Yeah.
It's going to mean that they can retain all of those players for as long as possible. And then you end up with teams that are more even than others, so to speak, and the salary cap's no longer working how they want it to. So they've got to try and get the balance right so it's not benefiting teams too much, even though it's benefiting teams who put the hard work in and deserve the reward.
Yeah.
You don't want the reward to be too graphic that it, makes the comp lopsided, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's a delicate balancing matter.
Well, like I look at the Broncos, and Pat Carrigan still has a few years to go before he'd hit any of those limits, but you would hope that he ends up playing his entire career at the Broncos. Like there's certain players that you could see playing for so long, and they just should stay at the one club for however long it is. And especially like someone like Carrigan, who's one of the better players in the competition, you would hope that that's something that you could give a player like him and just be like, well, we can only pay you so much because you're getting to the last third of your career. We've got other players coming through, but you've been here for so long and we can pay you this much money because you don't really count towards the cap too much anymore. But yeah, you do have to worry about what would have happened if Penrith, for whatever reason, could have kept all of their best players together rather than shed them through the salary cap, and then they all hit the same limit, and you've got eight players even that have been at the Panthers for 12 years or whatever it is, and they're fucking just romping at home, and they're still able to bring other players in because they've got all of these cap exemptions. Like there's got to be limits, but I don't think that they're high enough at the moment.
No, they are too low. They're at the point now where they're not noticed.
Yeah.
And that's too low. They need to beef them up a little bit.
Yeah. We've got an email here from Sam. The subject is stuff.
So I can get into this.
Yeah, I fucking love stuff, hey?
Stuff is underrated.
Yeah, I like watching videos of stuffing, stuff like that. Evening, you two. So, a few thoughts with absolutely no evidence behind them. I love shit like this.
This is good.
Origin. I think New South Wales will get their act together and win game 2. Daly will get a final series win and sail off into the sunset, never to be chosen again. Will Slater stay on, or will the lure of coaching Melbourne be too great? I think it will be. I think it'll take over next year. PNG and Perth. Perth seems to be quietly assembling a squad of decent, steady players, I agree. They're not going to win anything in their first year, but they can build season on season. Yet they're being hammered in the press. PNG have convinced 3 people they won't be killed if they sign on, as long as they don't go anywhere without armed guards. They have to be successful quickly, because do you want to be trying to avoid wooden spoon while living in a compound?
Look, I will say this, okay? The media does not like, and I'm talking about the Sydney mainstream media, rugby league media. They don't like Perth. Yes. Remember when they were talking about the West Australian team several years ago,
mm-hmm.
and then they convinced the NRL to completely just alienate their plans to have a Perth team brought in because the crowds for the Sevens event over there in the summer while there's a cricket game on were too low, and it showed that the people of Western Australia weren't passionate for the game.
That's right. And wasn't it like 40 degrees or something as well? Something like that. Yeah.
And it was on a weekend. It was a long weekend or something like that. It was just crazy. Everything about it was just designed not to draw massive crowds. And they used that to absolutely hammer the whole bid from Perth.
Yeah.
And eventually we ended up getting the Dolphins instead.
Yeah.
They don't like them at all. I don't know why. Probably because they're stupid. But, yeah, that's why you'll find that they're getting hammered in the press. And they'll be getting negative press, like the stuff around Melbourne Ingle, which just seems a bit silly. You know, oh, he's not over there in Perth. Or how can he be doing a good job? So, to do what? All the players he needs to sign are in Sydney and Brisbane and Canberra. You know. Oh, fuck me.
I mean, he's going to move to Perth when they're fucking playing. Like,
it's going to be pretty hard to coach him from Canberra.
Yeah.
He's not Phil Gould.
Yeah, sending emails and then being like, "Oh, I help the Warriors."
So but that's what they do. That's how they are. I don't know why. They're just stupid. The PNG thing, I think it's going to work out. I think people are worried that they're going to have trouble luring NRL players, and I think they are absolutely committed to having quite a fair number of PNG based players in that side.
Yeah,
and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, the thing I would like to see is them announcing those PNG players.
Oh, likewise.
And that does concern me, but we're quite a way away from that at the moment. Like the players they've signed basically 2 years ahead of schedule.
Yeah. I was going to say, my only concern about the PNG thing is that it could have the same impact on the local competition that the Broncos did on the Brisbane one. And that's my only concern.
Yeah, possibly could. Well, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Huh?
That's right.
Okay, so more to Sam's email. He said, Challenge Cup final. Professional from Wigan, but the result was never in doubt from about 10 minutes in. Shit crowd as well. While it still exists, it has to be played at Wembley, but how long will that be? We used to get cup tickets included in our season tickets, but not anymore, so crowds have collapsed. Super League. I was at Warrington versus Bradford last week. Wow. How about that?
Why?
Awful game. It used to be if the game kicked off at 3 p.m, you'd be in your car ready to go by 4:35. This game didn't finish until 4:55. The first half lasted 55 minutes. Plus, with 2 minutes to go and the game already over, we had a fucking captain's challenge. I propose no challenges in the first or last 10 minutes.
I'm with that.
Yeah, look, my idea is that you get 2 challenges per calendar month. That way you can't just waste them. Like, they're really, really valuable.
Yeah, I even think that you shouldn't get it renewed after you use it.
Yeah, like you've used it, that's it.
That's it. Whether it's successful or not, you've used it. That's it. Job done. Move on.
Yeah. He says, Brisbane, what the actual fuck?
I agree.
Aussie Rugby League journalists, why do the players engage with them? I've got no idea. I wouldn't. Then he says, Total Rugby League, I was banned too. Hurrah! Nice. And now we've got another. I think we could. Did we do Andy from Sheepy?
No,
I think this is another one. Okay, Andy from Sheepy. We've had so many emails. This is fantastic. So this is Andy from Sheepy. Message body, love the pod. Just wondering in regards to position rigidity in league, why the really hopeless teams don't try picking multiple forwards and less backs or vice versa. The change in balance perhaps presenting clearly better opposition with a different challenge. Has anybody tried this in the past? Of course, I could be talking bollocks. I think, you know what? You are basically describing what the NRL was like under unlimited interchange, where instead of having centres, teams basically had second rowers in the centres. Which is
kind of what Super League became.
Yes.
But Super League became that way not because of the rules, but because there's just so many games and not enough money to play a ton of players. So you just have to have players capable of playing several positions to cover all the injuries you're going to get. And so you'll see in Super League nearly every single centre plays in the second row. Nearly every 5'8" will play halfback. Nearly every halfback will play at hooker. And this sort of stuff just goes on and on and on. Fullbacks play in the wing and the centre and at 5'8", and just on it goes. And so they're all, because they're all versatile and they all cover several positions, it means they're basically a jack of all trades, master of none. And
the only time
you see that actually at the international level.
Yeah, you do sometimes. Yeah. I know the only time I can think of that it wasn't over here at the top level outside of the unlimited interchange time was when the West Tigers had a bunch of undersized utility / second rowers.
Was that 05?
There's a lot. It was about like 05 to 2012.
But 2005, the rules changed briefly for that year, which it suited only them. And that was just by absolute luck. Because the year after was when the wrestle came into the game.
Yeah.
And the Tigers just got absolutely monstered in the ruck time and time again.
Yeah.
And so they stayed undersized the whole time, thinking that they could outmaneuver teams through the middle. But because the ruck got so slow, it meant they just got monstered all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a bit of a rare thing, that one.
You still see some players that can do a little bit of this sort of thing. Luke Capewell is one who's a second rower who, in a pinch, you can throw him out in the centres if someone's injured and you're really desperate. Luke Garner's similar, so he's a second rower, but that can play centre if you're really desperate.
Tallis Duncan.
Yeah, he's another one. Yep.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if you saw on the weekend, Tig Wilton scored a try for the Sharks, and the fucking steps he put on close to the line were ridiculous.
Yeah.
There was a double-footed step to beat the first defender, and then a huge step off his left foot, like 3 steps later, to beat the fullback to score. And I was looking at it going, what the hell did I just see? The first step looked like something, Benji Marshall used to do that step where he'd jump his whole body to the right and then use both his feet to step back the other way. And it was just a massive. That's what Wilton did. And I'm like, why is a bloke who's 6'19" and 150,000 Ks and runs around like this? Why is he that agile and moving like that? It was nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Benji must have been 70 kilos at most when he was doing it.
Yeah.
I used to be able to step like that in high school, actually. A lot of those big steps and step on a step, I could do those. But I had way more talent than Benji Marshall.
From that's what I heard too. Yeah,
I had to stop playing. I was so good.
Yeah.
It was like Superman when he stopped playing football. He was like, I can't do it to other people, you know.
We have to start changing too many rules to try and quell this bloke from dominating.
Yeah. Well, I used to like to balance.
You just said, you know what, I'm going to step down because I don't want to ruin the game for everybody else.
I used to try and balance it out by looking like I was absolutely putrid under the high ball. I used to drop a lot, but I did that on purpose, obviously.
Just to level the field.
Yeah, I didn't want to just dominate everything. I'd be like, oh, if I can high ball, let me pretend to drop this one.
As everyone knows, it's not fun being dominated every time you play against someone. You're so giving and so caring.
I really am, aren't I?
And you did all that while being angry the whole time. It's fantastic.
Just angry 100% of the time. It's great. Oh, man.
So angry and so considerate at all at once. It's fantastic. What a mix.
It's a balancing act.
It really is.
Speaking of being angry the whole time, I think I told you this before the podcast. We briefly talked before the podcast. I think I've worked out that there's trolls in the rugby league, not trolls, bots in the rugby league community on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what I think they are, right? So I have lots of really good discussions on Twitter, like whenever I'm tweeting. It's fantastic. I love it. Especially lately. My Twitter's been going off. It's been awesome. But every so often there'll be like nagging ones that they just nonstop. And you go and look at their accounts and they have like 12 followers. And you have a look at what they've actually tweeted, and they've tweeted nothing. Like literally nothing. They've tweeted nothing themselves. They just do replies. And they do replies that are shitty to everyone they tweet at. And I think that they might be bots. I think there's bots.
Or just gutless pricks who didn't want to put their name to it.
Look, it's possible. It's possible. But it's more like, I don't care if you put your name to it or not, but it's more like, I just can't imagine there's anybody that actually sets up a Twitter account and doesn't have one single tweet that they do. Like there was one a couple of weeks ago where they had one follower and they'd had their account for 7 years and they hadn't tweeted anything. And it's like, this isn't possible.
You sure it's not? Remember there was a story a couple of weeks ago about some NRL coach who had a fake Instagram account or something like that and he was spying on his players?
Yeah, burner accounts. Look, it's possible, but I have a feeling it's more there's some bots out there. Or another one I see is like you'll see someone and they have no followers, but then all they do is retweet nonstop lots of political stuff.
Yeah.
And it can be from whatever side. I don't care. I don't really look too much at it. But I'm like, is this bots? I think this is bots. So that's what got me started on wondering if it was bots. So I might be wrong. There might just be people that set up random accounts and they don't tweet anything and they just tweet at people. But yeah, I thought that there was some bot shit happening.
It's very true. I mean, I don't spend enough time on there anymore.
The worst thing is we'll never know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's as deep as my investigation went. I was like, is this bots? And that's it. That's as far as I got with everything.
Or you just got bored with it, but now I can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I try and reply to as many people as I can, but so it's hard to get too deep into anything. Also, that's what she said.
All right. Was there any more emails, or have we finally get through?
No, that's it. I love having all those emails to read. So if you've got more emails, send them in. podcast@leaguefreak.com.
Yeah, maybe you can respond to a little theory I've got, which I gave to Freaky today.
Okay.
Yeah. Where I said, I think I've psychoanalyzed the relationship between fans and the NRL as being similar to that between parents and their kids.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to figure out how the NRL functions and watching it do dumb, unintelligible shit that you're adamant that they should know better than to go through with is very much like having kids. Watch how the eldest child treat that like they're like the mainstream media. Mm-hmm. They do stuff that they know it's wrong, but which they also know that will be copied and executed sloppily by the youngest child, which is also the NRL. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the parents, who are the fans, are just sitting there dumbfounded or angry or pissed off or numb or tired or all of the above of trying to keep up with it all. So we go to the toilet or go do something else as opposed to just doing anything other than being involved with rugby league for a bit. Just for a bit of peace and quiet. Just for a few moments. Just so we can build up the courage to jump back into the fire and do it all over again.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good comparison.
Sometimes you see, either as parents or you've had it if you had siblings, the eldest will egg the youngest one on to do something that both of them know is wrong. Mm-hmm. But the eldest one knows that the youngest one will get caught doing it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the same as what the NRL and the mainstream media, that's how their relationship's like.
Well, the ones that get me is when, like, something will come back around. Like, just say the thing that come out like this week, and it hasn't, but just say there was a big story this week where it was like the NRL was thinking about doing 2 referees on the field because the game's too fast. And it's like, we've done this. Well, if we're going back to this, we created a problem now. You're going to fix the problem because you created the problem by doing this. And every so often these things go around in cycles. And when you see enough of those cycles, then it's then it's like, oh man, what are we doing?
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. If you got anything you want to add to that theory, by all means, email us and let us know.
Yeah. Podcast@LeagueFreak.com. You can also get us through, if you go to fergoandthefreak.com and there's a form there, you can send emails through as well.
Yeah. Or hit us up on Twitter or Insta.
Twitter, yeah. Do go through DMs.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good way to get to us.
The boss will sort those out and tell us about it.
Yep. Tells us what to do, when to read them out.
Yep.
How to read them out.
What to say. I mean, she's still, at the moment, writing the script for the next episode.
Yep, pretty much.
It's a good thing
she said, pretty much, repeat, pretty much.
Yeah,
just
times
there on
2.
the script.
Like on mine, it says times 2.
Yeah. So for me, she likes write and repeat. And then she wrote under it, now explain in this manner. And I've just written it out as we go.
She just nailed our personalities 100%.
Pretty much. Should we look through the upcoming games this week?
Sure. Actually, I wanted to raise one thing about happened last week.
Okay.
In the Tigers-Bulldogs game.
Okay.
Josh Curran should have had his try awarded.
Oh, God. Wasn't that disgraceful?
That was an atrocious decision. And right, here's the problem, okay? We've got to the point where the ref bashing has got so bad that the only way the game and the referees have decided that they can deal with this with as much consistency as possible is to have zero grey area, which means incidental brush. If it's, sometimes you'll see it, someone will attempt a tackle on someone and they'll miss them completely, but their hair might scratch the side of their cheek or something like that. Bam, high tackle, you're penalised.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you didn't even touch it, you didn't even feel it.
Yeah.
But no, they have to just do it that way now. It's going, no, one high hit, they're all the same. Just what we're doing now. And that charge down and that play by Curran was fucking brilliant. Mm-hmm. And because the leg from the kicker was just hanging out and as he ran past it, he wasn't trying to run through it.
No.
He barely grazed it. So, nope, you've hit the outstretched leg. That's dangerous. I was like, you're kidding me.
His toe of his boot grazed against his jersey. You know?
It didn't even lose balance.
No. And they
God.
pulled that back and it just killed the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs were coming home strong at that point and it just killed them. Yeah. There was a couple of calls in the Panthers versus Warriors game where there was like a dangerous tackle that wasn't dangerous, and then there was a crusher tackle that wasn't a crusher tackle. And like I've been saying, like if you make an awkward looking tackle that's completely legal, you'll get penalised for it just because it looks awkward.
Yep.
I understand if you penalise a tackle that was dangerous, but you can't penalise a tackle as being dangerous because it could have become dangerous. That's not the rules. Every tackle could become dangerous, But you don't penalise because, well, if circumstances had been different, this would have been dangerous. It's ridiculous.
It is, and it's kind of like this weird loop. I remember Phil Gould saying many years ago, and I mocked him at the time, rightfully so.
Yeah,
where he told referees to only call the obvious penalties.
I
was like, no. You call the penalties that deserve to be called a penalty, not the obvious ones or just a few here and there.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a legit penalty, you call it regardless of whether it's, too many or not enough. Right. But now we've gone to the point where we've gone even beyond that. And it's got too aggressive. But this is what's happened to this is essentially this is the direct result of the intense ref bashing. Mild ref bashing, where you criticize a genuinely bad call, I've got no issue with that. But the aggressive ref bashing that goes on and has been going on for nigh on a decade here has been so over the top and so intense and so vile and angry that it's caused referees to get to this point where we're going, well, we're now back into a corner and this is the only way we can do it now, and that is it's just blanket black and white rules the whole way through. So
see, I think
I put a lot of this down to the mainstream media because they're the ones who push a lot of this ref bashing stuff, and this is the end result. This is what we come up with. And you can't turn around from here. You can't just say, okay, we're just going to call some of them, because as soon as you start being lenient on some and not on the others, going, well, why did that one get a penalty and that one didn't? And then you go back to square one and you're just back in this horrible, vicious loop. And all they've done is made officiating harder and now sillier.
See, I think that it's driven by the KPIs that we know the referees have because they bragged about it at the NRL last year.
I mean, I'd also think that the KPIs are part of a direct result of the ref bashing as well. It's about trying to even up the referees and make them all as consistent and as similar as each other.
Yeah, and look, I think a lot of the 6 again calls that we see are strategic ones by the referees to get their KPIs where they need to be. I think that there are penalties that are similar, where they need to get a certain number on the board, and we know that because they told us that's how they rate them by. And I think that when you get things like that current situation, I think as a referee, for you to keep your job, you need to call that, because you don't want to be sitting there in the referee's review on Monday and they say, now, this technically should have been given a penalty. That's 1 mark against you. Yeah. You want positive marks. You'd rather them sit there and say, okay, you know what? People didn't like that call, but technically that's a penalty, and you get a gold star for that one. You would rather get the gold stars than the marks where they say, well, this player barely grazed this dude's face, and so it was fair enough. You called play on, whatever. You'd rather them, and so I think that that's why the referees are incentivized to call every single little fucking thing they possibly could ever see, and that's how you get the grand final. That's how you get state of origins. All that shit,
Yeah.
You go in and the referee's boss says, "Oh, you didn't call 1-6 again." And it's like, yeah, but the game was a great arm wrestling stuff. It's like, yeah, but you didn't call 1-6 again, and fucking Ashley called 8 of them. He does 8 a game on the dot. We want consistency out of you. Like Ashley. Be like Ashley. I think it's driven by that, personally.
Yeah, there is a fair bit of that. But, yeah, I just think the whole process started with the media constant bashing refs and then getting all the fans on board to do the same thing.
Mm.
And that wasn't done to do anything to change the game. That was done just to sell newspapers, and people fell for it.
Yeah, I literally don't read any of the corporate media stuff that comes out. I'll see some of the stories that they've written when it gets talked about on Twitter, but I don't go to any of the corporate media places for my footy news. So I don't see what they're talking about a lot of the time unless it comes across my timeline and I'm like, well, that's a weird thing to say. Like there was somebody who wrote from the Courier Mail that should we get rid of send-offs in rugby league? And I didn't even read the article. It was just like, what the fuck is this shit, That's why I don't read corporate media articles.
No, I agree. Right, well, that's that debate done with. Until next episode.
Yes.
Let's get into the upcoming game, shall we?
Excellent. Let's do it.
Now that I've sidetracked us enough. Let's do this shit. Okay. Let me get the tipping side open so that I make sure I put my tips in at the same time. I don't think I did them last week either.
I did mine last week. They were so again. I'm just not having a good season for tips, and I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I see this thing. I don't think I am.
Oh.
Let's see. Last week, I got 3 wrong because they were I picked the home teams because I didn't put any tips in. I think. I can't remember. But yeah, no, I think I did do my tips. That all looks familiar. Right. So I got 5 last week. How'd you go?
Okay. I haven't got it opened up. Let me have a look.
That's fine. Where have I got my stats? Here they are. Right, while you open that up. So the first game this week will be Manly versus South. South have won 14 of their last 20 games against Manly since 2014. And Manly have scored 464 points in their last 15 games, which is just under 31 points per game. And they've just signed Kieran Foran for, was it 3 years as coach?
Yeah, that was a good move. I got 3 right last week.
3?
Yeah.
Geez, I'm catching you now.
Yeah.
That's bad for you.
4 if you include the Origin game.
All right. So, yeah, who are you going with on this one, Manly or South?
I am going for the Manly Sea Eagles. I just think South are a little bit inconsistent. Manly, they have lost games, but they're still pretty consistent in their losses. So that's what made me tip the Sea Eagles.
Yeah, I'm tipping Manly because their defence has been vastly better under Foran.
Mm-hmm.
And last week was the first time they conceded more than 18 points in the games under Foran. So that's a pretty good thing. Next up, the Storm versus the Knights. Storm have won 29 of their last 37 games against the Knights since 2004.
Jeez.
And Knights have won just 5 of their 24 NRL games in Melbourne, all of which are against the Storm, and conceded 30.9 points per game.
Look, the Storm looked a lot better last week. I've gone for them this week against the Knights, and it is literally going on the historic matchups between these two teams. If you had to go, Knights have been in better form this season than Storm. They just have. But I keep waiting for the Storm to pull it together, and maybe they did that last week. But when you've thought they've done that all year, they've backed it up with a terrible loss. So I'm just going to back them in this one, and I'm hoping that they stick with it.
Yeah, I'm kind of backing them because I think if they get a win this week, I think they're playing next week, and then they've got a bye. And so they're one of the last 2 teams to have a bye. I think the Cowboys and Melbourne haven't had a bye yet. So they'll be looking forward to that. And anytime you can get a win before a bye is really helpful. So
yeah. And they're just behind a little bit of they're at the end of the pack of teams that are all fighting for a lot of places. And so they need to win a few in a row. And if they can win a few in a row, they're not right back in it, but they're at least in the race again. Right now they're out the back of the pack, and they've got to make up some ground.
Yeah. They're currently 3 wins shy of 8th. Was also 10th, I guess, because they're both on 16 points.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't had any buys yet. So you chuck in 2 buys there to get them caught up with everybody else, and that puts them 1 win behind 8th place. That changes things a fair bit. So they're not out of it yet, but they do need to pull their finger out.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Canberra versus the Roosters. The Roosters have won 29 of 47 games between these 2 sides since 1998. And the Raiders have won 3 consecutive games against the Roosters just once since 1998. And that's important because they've won their last 2 games against them.
Oh, wow. I've gone for the Roosters in this one. The Raiders are terrible this year so far. And no one's talking about it. I don't know why. But they've got, I think, the 5th worst for and against in the whole competition. And I think the Roosters should beat them.
Yeah, I'm going Roosters. I don't think it's going to be close, to be honest. Next up, we have the Cowboys versus the Dolphins. Dolphins have scored 101 points in their last 160 minutes against the Cowboys.
Wow.
And they've scored at least 30 points in 16 of their last 31 NRL games.
I've gone for the Dolphins. I think the Cowboys, they're too inconsistent. And as you say, their defense is pretty iffy. And against a Dolphins team that can put points up pretty quickly, I had to tip the Dolphins for this one.
Yeah, Dolphins are on a 4-game winning streak, and they've got a ton of top quality players coming back as well for this game. So they're getting stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm picking them in this one. Next, we have the Broncos versus the Titans. Brisbane have lost their last 4 NRL games, conceding 142 points, which is 35.5 per game.
Jeez.
And the Titans have scored 2 tries in each of their last 4 NRL games.
Look, the Titans, they will try hard in this game. The Broncos are just got injuries and all sorts of stuff they're dealing with, but I still went for the Broncos.
Titans are going to scare the living hell out of them.
Yeah, that's how I feel this game's going to go too. Exactly. Yeah. It's going to be like, oh shit, and then the Broncos are going to pull it out in the last 20 minutes. And, I think it could be one of those sorts of games where if you look at just the score, you'll be like, oh yeah, the Broncos did that, not too bad. But if you watch the game, it was like, the Titans were right there for most of it, and really could have been an upset if things had have gone one way or the other. So yeah, I've gone the Broncos, but I think it'll be a tough game for them.
It will. Speaking of tough games, Tigers versus Penrith.
Fergo and the Freak Cup.
It is. Penrith have won 143 of their last 185 NRL games.
Fucking hell. Jesus. That's ridiculous.
Oh, my God. Penrith have won 14 of their last 18 games against the Tigers since 2014.
It's not weird when you, when it's the Panthers and you hear, oh, this team does well against the Panthers, and then you pull out a record like that and you're like, wow, that sounds fucked, though.
Yeah. Every time Penrith has needed to beat the Tigers, they haven't.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. I've said this many times. You and me have been, and it's not going to happen in this one, but in the past, you and me have waited for that game where it's like, are the Panthers going to break the record for the most points?
The number of times that Panthers have come up against the Tigers, and the Panthers have been in ridiculous attacking form, and the Tigers' defense has been dog shit. And you go, okay, here it comes. Penrith's going to put 100 on. Like, the opportunity's never been better. And then the scoreline is like Penrith wins 10-8. And you're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, yeah.
They have played some absolutely dreadful games against each other.
Yeah, it's very, very weird.
Yeah, so the Tigers bring them down to their level.
Yeah, yeah. Penrith have all of their Origin players back in the side, so that's good. The Tigers, their form's been pretty rough over the last month and a half.
They're starting to get their defense back better again, and that's because Coruscant's back.
Yeah.
And Luai's back. But also, last week we saw how much of importance Kai Pearce-Paul had on that right edge. Because the way he's being used, it's not as a battering ram like the Knights tried to get him to be. He's more in that traditional English second rower, playing more as a winger than a second rower. You watch him, he runs straight, and then as he's getting to the line as they come towards him, if the defender's running at him straight, he'll try to run around him at the very last minute. Yeah. And the thing for him is he's got some bloody long legs on him and long arms, so he can get around them to a point where he starts running at their outside shoulder, and that allows him to get an offload away. And he's become very effective at doing that. And I don't think it's going to be something that'll cause Penrith too many issues, but it will keep their defense on that side on their toes a little bit. So other than that, I think the Panthers should win this one without any real hassle. But again, I think it'll be one of those games where the Tigers will give them a scare as well.
Yeah, I think I could see where it's like a little bit like the Broncos versus Titans game, where the West Tigers hang around for a fair while in this game, and then the Panthers ease out at the end of this one. So it's going to be a good, fun game to watch. Really cool to see Penrith with all their players back. So, yeah, obviously I've tipped Penrith.
Yeah, obviously so have I. Picked the Tigers. I'm part of the 6% on the NRL tipping website that have picked the Tigers.
Nice.
I wish I could put a margin on there. That'd be good to put 90 points on.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick a margin, I'd pick 10 points.
10 points. All right, next is the Sharks versus the Dragons. Oh, boy. This one has potential to be bad. So the Sharks have won 12 of their last 14 games against the Dragons, and the Dragons have lost 24 of their last 30 NRL games.
Far out.
Last week, the Sharks in the first half, through Braden Trindle, they looked like they could beat anybody. My God, they were so clean and clinical with everything they did. But Blake Browley got injured, busted his hand in the weirdest possible way. Did you see how he did it?
I saw that it was like down near his wrist, and he did it in a tackle.
Yeah, but it was like he was running past the ball player, and he went to sort of lead with his shoulder first in the tackle to hit the player, like using his shoulder with his arm down low. But his arm has hit the ball carrier around the hip, like his wrist has hit him around the hip before any other part of his hip. So it's almost looked like, if you look at a normal play, looks like he's just running past him and then just putting his hand up and trying to whack him on the hip, and that was it. I was like, what the fuck was that effort?
He shit whipped his own arm.
Yeah, I've never seen him do that. He's usually always pretty solid with his technique. Like he always goes a little bit low and he leads with his shoulder, and it's usually pretty solid, and that's why he's played so many games in a row. He hasn't got himself injured. And then that was just the weirdest, sloppiest thing, and I don't know where that come from, because he was playing phenomenal footy up to that point.
Yeah.
And you just see him, he looks around, he's like, oh, there's something wrong with my hand. Like he's unfazed by it. He's not in any pain. The trainer's there. And the trainer looks like he's trying to like nurse it because he knows there's something not quite right with him. Blaze is just like, I don't know. It's like he's just confused. Like, I don't know what's going on. I think I better go. And apparently he just went into the dressing sheds and just pushed the broken bone back into place. He's like, oh, there you go, it's fixed.
Ordered, strap him up, send him back out.
I was like, fuck. So he's now got to get a little plate put in there to screw the two bones together because it's so close to the wrist joint. You can't just plaster it and hope it works together. They've got to screw it together so it gets properly aligned. So he's going to be out for, I reckon, could be 3 to 4 weeks, because of where it is, he might be able to wear a guard over his forearm and his wrist. But we'll see on that one. But he's
a rough place to wear a guard if you're a dummy half, though.
It is. It really is. So we'll see what happens there. We have seen players do it before, but they haven't been dummy halves.
Nah, mostly centers or second rowers for prop forwards as well.
Yeah. But for this one, Sharks versus Dragons.
I've tipped the Sharks. I don't think I'll tip the Dragons all year.
Yeah, I've got Sharks by 98.
I've got them by 10. A little bit conservative, though.
Yeah, that's taking it soft.
Yeah. Do you want me to how about I do 20? What about 20? Let's do 20. I've done 20.
All right. And the last game on Monday.
This is going to be a cracker. The King's birthday match.
It's going to be something. The Bulldogs versus Parramatta. The Eels have won 15 of their last 21 games against the Dogs, and the Bulldogs have won just 5 of their last 18 NRL games.
I have tipped the Bulldogs because the Eels are terrible, and that's it.
You see, I think this is where I've got the problem, is that the Bulldogs are also terrible.
They are, but I feel like they're less terrible than the Eels. I think that the Bulldogs have more talent in their side than the Eels, and they're more of a coherent NRL team than the Eels, but they're not talented and they're not coherent. Does that make sense?
No, but I agree.
Yeah. I think that whatever happens, I'm going to blame Lachlan Galvin.
I think that's fair.
And that's it, really.
How good has it
that's all
been
that matters.
seeing him getting booed every time he touched the ball, and then having all of the Bulldogs fans and all the media come out, not Bulldogs fans, Bulldogs players coming out defending him.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, isn't there? I prefer to stay out of it because, like, I just kind of observe what's happening and go, like, oh, that's all interesting. All I know is that this Bulldogs team is not put together very well, and I don't think that's Lachlan Galvin's fault. And that's their problem, is that they're not put together very well. Yes. So, I think Galvin himself as an individual has had a all right season. I wouldn't say he's had a terrible season or anything like that. He's been one of their better players. But I think that there's a lot of square pegs in round holes in that Bulldogs team. And that's not Lachlan Galvin's fault.
I'll say this. I'm surprised that there's any Tigers fans at all who are still salty over Galvin leaving the club. Because I never once got why they were so pissed off. I was just like, okay, he's gone. Fuck, who cares? Move on.
Yeah.
And there are still people out there who are so salty about it, going, have you not seen how well the Tigers are going and how much the Dragons, the Bulldogs have struggled? Like, it doesn't mean there's a correlation between the two, but what it means is you don't need to worry about Galvin. He's gone from a side that was going crap and is now going well. He's gone to a side that was going well, is now going, a bit crappier. So you know what? If you got the shits with him, the fact that his team's not winning that much anymore is his punishment. You move on. Your team's doing okay for the first time in 5-6 years. Just enjoy that bit. Like, why are you doing this? I don't get it. I don't get that animosity. I just don't. It seems weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the way he left, it was a messy way that he left.
I know, but I mean, it's not like it's the first time it's happened, and every club's gone through that at some stage.
I just felt like with Galvin, it felt like West Tigers fans had had enough of the messiness because it had happened so many times before. And
it's a bit that, but also the manager playing all those silly games and saying that Galvin didn't think his game was going to grow into Benji and stuff like that. This is just dumb stuff that wasn't necessary. And I remember saying at the time, like, there's no need to be saying this sort of stuff. If you don't want to be there, just say, I want to look elsewhere and be done with it. Like, why burn bridges at that age? I just didn't get it. It was just silly.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And like, keep in mind, while it was all happening, he's still a teenager. And, it's just it was so messy. And at the end of the day, he's the pointy end of all of that, whether it was his fault or not, and all the feel good, the drama with him. So I've never even talked to him. And then like he had, and it's just all of this mess around this young dude that just should be allowed to go out there and play footy. And I don't like it when I see stuff like that, it just, it's very easy to say there's no winners in a situation like that. But then again, he's right now, Lachlan Galvin is sleeping in a very nice house. So there are winners, but, you don't like to see it, I guess.
Yeah. I just don't see how it's useful. And I don't see the reason there's a strong enough reason to be doing it. It just seems weird.
I can tell you as a Panthers fan, when we lost, I can't remember how I felt when we lost Brad Fittler, but I knew it was terribly disappointing. It was like you knew that you had lost a big name player that could power your club to success, right? But then we come down the road, you meet him in 2003's grand final and you beat him in the grand final. And there's something about that. There's something about like you went and now we've beaten you with your new team, that I think that's maybe what the West Tigers should be looking at and really focusing on is to get to that point. because it does feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's weird. I did find it funny though. Like when you're watching it, watching the match and you just hear that boo and it's like a loud boo. You just go, I just found I'm laughing because it sounds funny, not laughing because of the impact it has on Galvin.
If they cheered him, I feel like that would fuck with him more, hey? Probably. Like if the West Tigers crowd were like, yeah, every time he got the ball, be like, what's going on? Like, it'd be strange.
Maybe they just make weird animal noises.
What type of animal, though?
I don't know, like meowing.
Meow. Yes. Imagine that. That would be fucked up.
You just have like 20,000 people going meow at the same time. That would be weird.
20,000 people going, caca, caca.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. It'd be funny, but weird. I think that'd be more off-putting than a boo.
Yeah, something strange, really strange.
Because you're sitting there going, why are they cacawing me? Like, how's that relevant? And he's just thinking too much about, what's cacaw mean?
Yeah.
That'd get in his head and he'd be confused. And then you get what you want.
Or what about when he gets the ball, they go, ooh.
You go, Galvin. Well, look, there's our tips on. I just had a look on the leaderboard, and I've got 58, and you've got 57.
Oh, so we're neck and neck.
Well, I mean, I'm higher up the neck than you are.
No comment. I can't believe how bad I'm going this season. Yeah.
When you've been passed by me, that's when you go, holy fuck, what have I done?
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah.
It's fucked. I don't like it because I'm trying. There's some teams I've committed to, though, and I fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, I've just not bothered putting my tips in half the time, and that's helped.
I committed to West Tigers for too long. I've committed to the Broncos for too long. I think the Storm have caught me out as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think they're the main ones.
It's crazy. There's 229 people in this tipping, and I'm surprised I'm not under 200 at this stage.
It's cool that we've got so many people in our tipping comp, hey?
Oh, it's crazy good. Loving it.
Yeah. I remember with the first time we put the tip comp out there, and I think if somebody had said, you're going to put the tip and comp stuff out and you'll get like 54 people, we would have been like, whoa, 54? It's been great. And we've always had like hundreds of people in it. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. It's crazy good.
Yeah.
It'd just be good if you and I were just like 1 and 2. Because then you just go, come on, you lazy bastards. Are you going to get good at this or what? But, I just kind of suck too much. I was just stuck way down the bottom of the field. My
total margin is pretty good. It's only 196.
Mine's 418. Try harder.
My total margin must be up there with some of the best. There's one that's 154. The best car 9395. 154. That's pretty good.
Arvo, who's ranked 184, he's got 56 tips right, one less than you, but his total margin is 144, and that's the best.
Ooh, that's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy too.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to know that I'm rank 170. I don't like everyone above me.
No.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. We're all on the shit list. I was going to say you're all on the shit list because it's usually I'm below you, so I'm not included. But now I'm part of that group.
The person that's 171, good dude.
Yeah,
good dude.
He goes good. Well, is there anything else we need to cross off the list before we wrap this one up?
I think that's pretty much it. Now that we've done the pre-show, how about the Monaco Grand Prix this weekend?
The world's fastest parking race.
Yeah, it's cool because they've had to change all of the rules so that the cars don't fly off into the water. It's been great.
It's going to be interesting because the cars are actually significantly smaller than the last several years.
Yeah.
So it might make it a better race.
Hopefully.
Who knows? Yeah. But surely it can't be as bad as what it was in the past.
What it would be perfect if there were light showers. Just light showers though, not piss and rain. Just light showers. Just get the fucking road damp. That's all you want.
I think if it starts out fine and then fucking pisses down for about 20 minutes, that's all we need.
Wait and get them. They'll all come into the garage if that happens though.
Oh no, that's the problem. The FIA's become like really scared of them driving on a wet road, even though they've got wet tyres. And, strange. They're the best drivers in the world.
I put the highlight, I retweeted the highlights of Schumacher winning his first race for Ferrari in the pissing rain in 1996.
I actually remember watching that.
Yeah, me too. And it was like, I mean, he just decimated everyone. It was crazy. And like you look at his car looks like a car from 1991. Like it just doesn't even look like a modern Formula One car for those times. And he was just driving around everyone. And, now that sort of race would probably be red flagged.
Yes, it would. Absolutely. And they've got too soft.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Just, put some floaties on the side of the car and just let them go.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Let them get up the bow of the car up over the front of the water splashing, and especially in Monaco, it's fine.
It'll be fine. There's like uphill and downhill, all just flow away.
They've shut off the wings from opening for this race.
Really?
I think there's a couple of push to pass places, but it's only a couple or maybe one. And then they've done a thing with the engines so that the engines have less power that they can use. So it's going to be really good. Hey, that's what you want out of your premier fucking category.
Just make them slower.
Yeah, let's just make them slower. They should just Fred Flintstone this fucking race, hey?
Why don't they just let the drivers go for a jog?
Yeah.
Just let them run it out.
That'd be good.
I think that would probably be better.
Can you imagine how good this race would be if they just gave them all go-karts?
See, I think they should.
That'd be sick.
Because I think Monaco would be a fucking amazing go-kart track.
Yeah. Imagine them coming like through the tunnel 5 wide.
And you got that crazy chicane at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. You got that.
That'd be so good.
And watching them go around that hairpin would be absolutely amazing.
Some famous times that we've seen at Monaco. Can't go past Panis. Panis winning out of nowhere in the Ligier.
I always remember the race. Remember the year that Daniel Ricciardo won?
With it, when he didn't have his electric shit that he could put in, yeah.
But the year before, I don't remember the year before, he put in the most insanely gorgeous pole lap. And then got through the race and he was going great. And then he came into the pits and no one was there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And that fucked him. I remember that.
Completely fucked him. And Hamilton went through on the pit stop and he couldn't get back in front of him. He chased him down. He caught up to him, but he couldn't get around him.
Yeah.
And then he won the following year. But man, that was the first time after that race where the pit crew screwed him over. That's the first time we ever saw Ricciardo genuinely pissed off. He got second place and you just saw him there and he was just quiet. He didn't have the smile that was always there. He was just quiet and looking down and he was fuming.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. Because they had that race won. They'd done everything right until that one pit stop and they fucked it bad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And so you just saw him come back the next year and he was hungry. Like the only thing he had on his mind was winning Monaco that year. And that's all he had focus on. And he went out and did it.
What's your favourite part of the track?
I do like the straight up the hill after the first turn. I do like the tunnel and the hairpin. And the section through the swimming pool area before the last two turns, because those last two turns they're shit.
yeah. There's nothing you can do in there really.
No, and they're slow, and especially that last little section just before the start finish line.
Yeah, because that is literally one car.
And yeah, that's just dreadful. If they could open that up somehow, make it just a little bit wider, that would probably be pretty cool. But,
it would be cool.
Yeah, that bit's a bit rough, but that run up the hill is pretty cool because you can take a fair bit of speed into that right hander that goes around and you start coming down the hill again. The other thing that always gets me too is there's a little as they come down the hill after that section, there's a drain cover. And you watch all the cars coming down this dead straight road and they all swerve in and then back out again. And they all do it at the same spot because they don't want to hit the drain cover. And they've been doing it for like a decade and a half, 2 decades.
That's crazy, hey?
That's just a lovely little quirk on that track that everyone knows. Don't hit the drain cover.
That's what new tracks don't have, is those weird parts where you've got to drive around the actual road surface itself.
Yeah, a little bit
because they're all, yeah, and you got a lot of tracks that are like I know there was a point where they started making new tracks and they'd make them just dead flat.
Yes,
and I don't like that shit. Like I would love to see new tracks where it's got hills and curves and shit like that, different cambers and things like that. The part that I like most about Monaco is probably the hairpin. Like if I had to pick one point, it's the hairpin because I feel as though if you get a good run off the top, and, for whatever reason, someone hasn't got traction coming into that hairpin section, you can get them in the hairpin or at least make them go off their line to defend you in their hairpin and then maybe try and do something coming into the tunnel. So, yeah, I think that and it also, I mean, to see these cars that are built to go so quick doing something so fucking awkward. Like that's the most awkward couple of corners around there.
And it is
in all of Formula One.
It is the tightest hairpin in all of Formula One.
Yeah, and they're just not made to do that,
no.
And to see these cars that are for something completely different and they just all look awkward as shit,
Especially the cars they had prior to this year, where they were going full lock turning left to get around that, and they were just getting around. They were too big for that part of the road.
Yeah, and like you're not getting any downforce because you're not even close to the downforce kicking in, and it's all mechanical grip through there, and I like that.
Yeah. No, it does have some very interesting and pretty cool technical bits. There's no doubt about that. That last section to the swimming pool, though, when you get that absolutely spot on and perfect, and I think we've seen Ricciardo, Verstappen, Hamilton a few times. There's a great bit of footage from, I think it might have been 1990 of Ayrton Senna on board with him as he went round. When they get it right through that section and you're missing the wall by millimeters the whole way through and clipping curbs and that's just fucking stunning to watch. The whole way through you're going,
yeah. The other thing is too, like, you fuck that up once, it's over. The race is over, which is kind of crazy. You know what? I was thinking during the last race, actually, one of the things I like that they changed in Formula One, and they did this when they went to components that were shared across teams, is when they went from having those wishbones that if you looked at them the wrong way, they would snap. And now they're a lot stronger now, which is a good thing because there was a point where like absolutely anything those fuckers would bend. And now they can take a fair whack, especially in the right direction, and you're fine.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, though, had to be changed after what happened to Ayrton Senna.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's an amazing track. It's a lot of people don't like it anymore because of the way the racing became because of the hybrid era cars. That's not the track's fault. That's the car's fault.
Yeah.
So hopefully with the smaller cars, we get back to having a good race at Monaco.
Fingers crossed. I love Monaco. I absolutely love it. It's like, it's just one of those races that as I said, the cars are not meant to be around something like that anymore. And it's beautiful to see the awkwardness and, you get back to mechanical grip. It's great. Hey, that reminds me, I saw a video, it was a YouTube short, and they asked the question, if Michael Schumacher had stayed at Benetton one more season in 1996, would Damon Hill have still won the title?
Ooh.
And I don't think Damon Hill would have won the title.
Yeah, I don't think so either, to be honest.
But at the same time, I would say that if he didn't spend that year at Ferrari in 96, they're then a year behind on the development that happened with that car as well. Because by 97, the Ferrari wasn't great, but it was at least letting him be in the main fight, whereas that 96 car was just dog shit.
The amount of improvements they made in 97 were insane. So yeah, you put that behind by another year, that does change things by a fair bit. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. I don't think Hill gets it.
I've actually got and I've been looking for it. I cannot find it. I've got I think it's a 1/18th scale die-cast model of the 96 car and the 97 car.
That's pretty cool. You see they're starting to make Lego versions of these?
I saw the Michael Schumacher 2004 car.
There's the Ayrton Senna one from 89, 90, somewhere around there?
Yeah, I saw that one. I feel like there's a Williams one as well.
Yeah, a Nigel Mansell one.
Oh, okay. The only reason I didn't get the Schumacher one is it is fucking expensive.
Yes, it is.
So it's like $170. And the ones that you and me got, which I think are a little bit smaller, they're not too much smaller though. They're $34.
Yeah, our ones are they're about 12 to 15 centimeters long.
Yeah,
which are pretty cool.
The Schumacher one I think is probably about 18 to 20 centimeters. And there's parts of the Schumacher one which you can actually get kits to upgrade them so they're more realistic. But if I'm paying $170 for a Lego kit, I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
I want it to be as realistic as it fucking is out of the box. So that's kind of what put me off of getting it at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think at the moment, because they've got that partnership with Formula One, I think we'll probably find there's going to be a ton more coming along. At the moment, they've just released a bunch of current drivers' helmets.
Mm-hmm. I saw them. Yeah. They're all right.
They don't look too bad. I wouldn't get one, but they do look all right.
Yeah. I've actually got some of the 1/6 scale helmets. I've got, and again, I've looked for them. I can't find them, but I have, I think I've got Schumacher, Eddie Irvine. I think I might have a Mick Doohan one as well. I can't remember, but yeah, I've got a few of those. And I've been trying to find them because I knew you'd fucking think they were great.
Yeah. Better than looking at your tiles.
How dare you? They're high-end collectibles. What are you talking about?
Yes, they are. That's right.
Don't act like you didn't like my fucking Transformers, all right?
I don't think I've seen those yet.
Oh, haven't you?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen my Optimus Prime?
Let me have a look. I'll log in. I'll go over and check.
Surely you've seen my Optimus Prime. It's sick.
I think I made some comments on one you had up there a while ago.
I've got a Bumblebee and an Optimus Prime, and they're pretty fucking good. If not, I'll take some pictures of them, put them up.
Where are you? There you are. Let's go have a look. Where are they?
I'm sure I put them.
Oh, there's Bumblebee.
Is Optimus Prime with Bumblebee?
No.
Maybe I didn't put him up. Let me have a look. This is great listening, by the way.
Yeah. I've got a Lego version of that Bumblebee.
It's cool.
Sorry, not a Lego. I mean a Transformer, a small one though.
Have you seen the Bumblebee movie? Just the standalone Bumblebee movie?
No.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I do want to watch it. My little fella wants to watch it too, so I'll sit down with him and we'll watch it sometime soon.
Yeah, it's good. It'll be a good movie to watch with him. And maybe it's on my fucking Twitter feed. Let me have a look here. I can't believe I thought I'd put it on there. Gives me an excuse to start chucking up pictures of him. Let me see if he's on my Twitter feed. Man, look at all these stupid fucking pictures that I post on my Twitter.
Yeah, you got like a little figurine of the lead singer from Slipknot on here. That's pretty cool.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Slipknot?
Oh, you called a baby Groot.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, there is a picture of. I can tag you into it. At Andrew.
Is this like a list of things that we should probably do in our own spare time?
We're just doing stuff now. We're just fucking around. I tagged you into a picture just then. He's got his lights off. He's got eyes that light up blue. But I'll take proper pictures of him.
Well, that seems fair.
Yeah, did you get it?
I don't know. I'll have to have a look.
It's on Twitter.
Oh, it's on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm too old for all this social media stuff.
I know, right?
We had a chat about that the other day, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, remember? You said this bloke's old as fuck.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I thought, what's the smartest, most brilliant response I could come up with? And I thought I did all right.
Yeah, you did. You did good.
You did good. Oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
He's cool as fuck. I'll give you a like for that one.
Yeah.
No wonder I didn't see you put up for Christmas time last year.
Yeah. I'll take some pictures of him and put him up on my Instagram. I thought I'd already done that. And I've been thinking, man, I'd like to take a bunch of pictures with him. He looks so cool. I've got my new photograph and set up, and now I've got a reason to. So I'm excited about that now.
Are you going to get the RoboSend ones?
The what?
Have you not seen the RoboSend ones where you use
no.
Use a remote and they transform via an app?
No, I looked into it and they're just too expensive for me. And the other thing was that when they're not turned on, they're just all floppy. So you can't just have them standing there turned off. Like they just sort of flop down like a rag doll, which is kind of disappointing. Hey, have you seen the new Masters of the Universe movie?
I've seen it advertised, yes.
It seems pretty good.
Yeah, I've also seen the Mortal Kombat 2 movies also available to watch, which I haven't seen yet either. So,
yeah, I got to watch the first one first.
There you go.
And so, yeah, the Masters of the Universe one I'm interested in seeing because I loved that when I was a kid. I can't remember much of it because I was so young.
Yeah, I don't remember any of it.
No, I remember I had I had the Castle Grayskull and all the toys, and I had all sorts of that shit. I think that was probably the first toy line that I really was like, I was focused on it, I guess is the way to say.
See, I remember two cartoons when I was in primary school that I used to love watching all the time. It was Transformers, and the other one was called Robotech.
All right.
And it was just like, it was similar to Transformers from memory, but they were out and there was like people out in space and they were in like little flying things, whatever it was, and they could transform into flying robots or some shit. I cannot remember anything of it. I just remember when I was about 8 or 9, I used to absolutely fucking love that shit.
I loved He-Man and Transformers, GoBots, then the Ninja Turtles eventually. There was a whole bunch of them. Voltron. Voltron was actually one of the first ones I really liked. And I had the Voltron toys too. I had the lion ones, not the car ones, because the car ones sucked. I had a bunch of the Voltron toys. And then obviously like I had so many fucking Transformers and GoBots and Mask. Do you remember Mask?
No.
I had the Mask figures and the cars and shit and stuff like that. I had heaps of toys when I was a kid. I was very, very lucky. I don't take it for granted. Yeah,
I can't remember anything. I remember actually Knight Rider.
Yeah, I used to have a Knight Rider car. It was probably about a foot long, and it used to have. It wasn't remote control, but it had the cord attached to it.
I had one where you press down on the number plate and it spoke.
Yeah.
And I think from memory, I might have watched an episode where Kit went in underwater on some mission, So I went, oh, mine can do that. And I remember taking it to the bath one day. Fucked it up. It might have only been like a few weeks old. I got it for Christmas and did that. And
that sucks.
yeah.
my one had, it was like a remote control, but it had a cord on it, and you could turn all the lights on and it would make all the noises and stuff. And then it had like a little microphone that you could speak into it, and it would modulate your voice, so you sounded like, you didn't really sound like Kit, but it sounded modulated, you know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, and that ended up in a back shed that ended up getting fire set to it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Arseholes.
I know, right?
Probably, no, I won't. probably someone Glenn knows.
What the fuck does that mean?
That's why he's got such a hatred for for a certain Sharks player.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Wing it on that one. I'll just stick to footy history in future.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Just bury Glenn in that one. Moving on again. Alrighty, let's wrap this one up before I incriminate myself.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Make sure you check us out on all of the socials. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Give us a like, subscribe. If you ever feel inclined, you want to do something old school, go and leave us a comment on the iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes. I think you can do it on Spotify as well.
You probably can.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know anymore. No one does it anymore.
Yeah, I feel like it's a thing that sort of happened. It was a moment that happened, and now it doesn't.
Yeah. So, yeah, that would be great if you can do any of that. That'd be fantastic. And we'll wrap this one up. We'll catch you all next time.